Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday and welcome into Tuesday Job Talk. Give me just 1 second here. I want to make sure we are going live everywhere, that it's working and connecting. Looks like Facebook is in the process. Let me check on LinkedIn and make sure we're there too. Hopefully it's working today. I know that it was not a few days ago or last week, 2 weeks ago. So let me check and see. All right, so looks like we are live on Facebook. Awesome. Yes. So if you are joining us from Facebook, make sure you scan this QR code. And if you are on your phone, sorry, if you're on your phone and you can't scan, go to chat.restream.io/Facebook. That will give you the option it'll ask you to allow them to show your name. Go ahead and click yes, click the little button that says please show me, show my name. It's fine. That way you can join the chat and I can see your chats. Everybody else on LinkedIn and YouTube, feel free to comment just as you normally would, and I'll be able to see those. So if you have any questions as I go along, feel free to go ahead and drop those in the chat. Let me know what's going on. I will go ahead and also drop that into the Facebook comments so that those of you on Facebook, in case for some reason you can't scan it or anything like that, hopefully it gives you a clickable link in the comments on the Facebook comments. And it looks like maybe LinkedIn is not going live, but there we go. Just kidding. It is. Awesome. Great. So I should be able to see your comments from YouTube and from LinkedIn just fine. So feel free to drop those comments and we can also test it. So if somebody from one of those places wants to let me know that you're here, I'll make sure that's working. And then from Facebook, make sure you either go to this URL right here or click that link or scan that code right there. I also put it in the comments for you so you guys have it. And so welcome in, like I said, to Tuesday Job Talk. I am Katie Castillo, the community expert at VirtForce. And so today we're going to be talking about open roles, where to find them, and we're going to be talking about upcoming events. And then at the very end, we're going to be talking about cover letters. I'm going to cover structure and what to do, what not to do, what to put in there, and what the reasoning behind a cover letter is. So if you have any cover letter questions, feel free to drop those in the comments. And hey, look, LinkedIn is working. Hi, Shelby. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for chatting me on there so I can see your guys' comments. So thank you. If you guys have cover letter questions that you want me to answer or things that you want to talk about with cover letters, you can wait until we get to that section, or you can start dropping them whenever you have them and I will get to them. So let's get into it. First things first, we're going to talk about jobs. And so let me pull up the job arsenal. So on there now, you'll see the QR code. That's funny. My little plant stand up there is also catching in. Sorry. You can go to the VirtForce job board, which is jobs.virtforce.us. You can see the URL here, and I put the QR code up there, jobs.virtforce.us. This is our private job board. So you'll need to make an account, but it is free. And make sure you make an account, because if you don't make an account, you won't be able to see all of the jobs. You'll only get to see a few of the highlighted positions. So make sure that you make an account and sign in and hit jobs so you can see all of the open job boards jobs on our job board at the moment. And next thing I want to say is that on our job board, our jobs rotate frequently, frequently. We had 2 brand new jobs come up last week. We had a dental role and we had a marketing manager role that came onto the job board in between last week's Tuesday Talk and today's, and they're already off the board and we've already stopped accepting applications. So make sure that you're checking that job board frequently so that you can see updated roles. They come onto the boards frequently. And so make sure you're checking that frequently. And also, let's talk about specific roles. So right now we just had, in the last 2 days, we have a CVS customer service role. It's full-time in all US states. It is Pacific time or Mountain time hours that you will be working. Just as a heads up, it is fully remote. They are looking for somebody with at least 1 year of customer service experience. That is the newest role on the job board, so you can check that out. Also on the job board, you'll see links to travelers roles, and you'll see links to Imagine 360 and other CVS health roles. We have partnerships with all of them, and so we have links to get you into like individual roles, specific roles, like the customer service rep with CVS, you'll see at the top. We actually have 2 of those. We have a remote CSR, and then we have one for Pacific Mountain Standard Time. So you'll see specific roles like that, or the product support specialist role that's at Imagine 360. Then you'll also see links, like for CVS, you'll see links for like clinical careers, NP and PA roles. You'll also see roles for customer care or innovation and technology roles, pharmacy roles, things like that for CVS. For Imagine 360 and for travelers, you'll see links to multiple positions available. Those are sort of all the positions at those locations that'll take you over to the Travelers or Imagine 360 job board so that you can see all the other positions that are available at those companies. But going through our job board marks you as a VirtForce candidate, which allows them to know who you are, where you're coming from, and what you're looking for. So highly recommend starting there so that they know you're a VirtForce candidate. And then once you apply, it helps us advocate for you once they know that you're a VirtForce candidate as well, right? Excuse me. So make sure you're checking out our job board. Like I said, we just had 2 new roles for customer service from CVS pop up. We did have a few other roles, but they did get closed yesterday. So make sure you're checking frequently for new updated roles. We do send out emails. We do update the job board, and we also post them in our private Facebook group for new positions. And now we're going to talk about upcoming events. All right. So we have an event. VA Loan Bootcamp is coming up. If you have been to a couple of these Tuesday Job Talks, you've heard me talk about them. If you're new, VA Loan Bootcamp is set up from our sister company, the Military MLS. It is entirely based around the idea of, wouldn't it be really nice to have like a trusted space to ask your questions to experts who actually understand the VA loan, who like really know the VA loan, and you can ask your questions and you'll get tailored answers based on who you are, your situation, your timeline, and what your goals are with the VA loan. So that's what is happening in 1 week from today. We are having VA Loan Bootcamp. It is at 2 p.m. Eastern time, and it's going to be on Zoom. So you can scan this QR code up here, and it will take you to the event page. I can also drop that in the chat for you guys so you have it, and highly recommend RSVPing. It's that way you get notifications when things are happening. You'll get the Zoom link, things like that. But we also, as kind of a little added bonus, have a bonus event this Thursday. It is the What I Wish I Knew Sooner. We're doing a live stream just like we are today. It'll be in our Facebook group and on YouTube, and hopefully on the MLS Facebook page, TBD on whether or not it lets us do that. And we are going to be live streaming with our experts, talking about just quick rapid fire of things that we wish we knew sooner about the VA loan that would have made such a big difference in our real estate and VA loan journey. Hopefully giving you guys a little bit of an option to get started earlier than we did, or learn something you didn't know before. So highly recommend coming to that. Like I said, so that's 2 events. We have one this Thursday. It is at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And that's going to be live streamed on YouTube and on Facebook. And that information is also at that QR code. And then on Tuesday, June 24th at 2 p.m. we'll be live on Zoom with our experts. That one is very much a question and answer kind of session, getting you the information you need to know based on your situation. We're going to talk a lot about myths with the VA loan. What is the VA loan? How does it work? Things like that. And then based on what you guys need information on, that's what the event will be. It's very much tailored to who is at the event and what you guys need to know. Plus, on Tuesday at VA Loan Bootcamp, in the Zoom room, we are giving away $500 worth of Starbucks gift cards. So 100 of you are going to walk away with a free cup of coffee from Starbucks. And we are giving away Stanley tumblers. So we had, I think, over 35 people walk out with Stanley tumblers in the last month. So if you are interested in some more information in a casual setting, no obligation, no pressure, just a good conversational chat, and a chance to get coffee and tumblers, make sure you RSVP, and we will see you on Tuesday. Which reminds me that because of VA Loan Bootcamp, Tuesday Job Talk next week is going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, not noon, because we have the event that starts at 11 Pacific time. And so we'll start here. I'll do a quick little Tuesday Job Talks, and then I will see you guys over in our Zoom room for VA Loan Bootcamp. All right. So now let me pull up, make sure I've got chats all pulled up here in case anybody has questions. We are going to dive into, here, let me reload Facebook. I just want to make sure that if anybody is on Facebook, sometimes it doesn't, it's tricky. So I just want to make sure I've got it all. All right. So now we're going to talk about cover letters, everybody. I know this is a conversation topic that people have had questions about recently. And a lot of people feel kind of stuck, let's say, or confused or not sure what to do. So I want to talk about cover letters. And first, I want to start with why cover letters. Like, what is the importance of having a cover letter? If it's an option, like, why should you do it? And if it's an option, do it. If you have to do it well, because a resume is going to get you into the door, but a cover letter is going to show the recruiter or the hiring team why you belong at that company and in that role, right? A cover letter is your chance to take all of the data, all of the metrics and things like that you have put into your resume and actually give it your voice, to put your voice and a person, a real person, into all of that data and information. So it's really important. It gives you the chance to show them who you are, show them a real person, and it gives you a chance to explain or expand on like career gaps or pivots if you have that, especially as a military spouse. We know that that's like really common, right? A cover letter is the perfect place to do that. It gives you a chance to explain why your experience makes you the perfect fit for this role. And it gives you a chance to show your excitement for this company and this role, like specifically why you're excited about the company and this role. And I also want to say it gives you a chance to show your excitement, but not desperation for the company and the role. I think it's Kimber always says, desperation stinks and it smells. Like everybody can smell it. Desperation is stinky. So try to not show desperation, try to show your excitement. And I want to clarify that it's specific to the company and the role, right? You're not just like, oh, hey, I'm excited to have a remote role because I want to work from home. That's not showing the employer the best qualities about what makes you a good fit for this role, right? So it's your chance to put your voice on who you are, to show them as a person, as an employee, who you're going to be working at that company. And so basic structure breakdown, you can Google this, right? And it's going to tell you, you're going to do Dear Hiring Manager, or ideally, unless it specifies otherwise, I know a lot of the VirtForce ones specify Dear Hiring Manager. If you have the opportunity to use a specific person, do that, great. But a quick little introduction and excitement about the job and the company. Then you do a paragraph of, your skills, experience, how they make you the fit for the role in the company. And that's where you can include any explanations or details you need to, like career gaps, pivots, if you need to, right? And then also this, like that paragraph there, the second one is this is what you're bringing to the table part, right? This is you taking the data and the metrics that you had in your resume and saying, that's why these roles and this experience that I have and these life things that I've done make me a good fit for this company and this role. And then your closing paragraph, right, will bring you leave it with a little bit of a bang. This is the strong key focus that displays why you are the person for this role. That's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to leave them with a final thought of like, I am the person for this role. Okay. So that's basic structure. You can look that up anywhere. I will say, you don't need to follow any specific set structure. You don't necessarily have to have 3 paragraphs and a sign off. Make it work for you, make it tailored to the company and the role that you're applying for. So if you need to add another paragraph or have a few more sentences, like if you need to explain a career pivot and then you want to talk more about your experience and why it does make you a good fit, add in a little extra. That's totally fine. You don't have to follow the formats and the formula that we all know you can find if you Google search this. So some do's that I want to talk about. Keep it short and sweet. Ideally, no more than 1 page, right? They've got a lot. Recruiters have a lot to read. So if you have gotten your cover letter in front of them, you want to get to your point and you want to make your point and have it come across well without being too wordy and too lengthy, because they're just not going to read it. They might, but you figure if it gets to be too long, they're probably going to start skimming, right? And if it takes more than 2 to 3 pages to say why you're a good fit for it, then maybe we need to reevaluate the way that we've tailored our information, right? So, like I said, you don't have to follow a specific formula or layout. You're going to find it anywhere, and it can help you get like a basic flow started, but tell your story. Tell them why you are passionate about this role, this work that you're doing, why this company. Like, explain to them why you're excited about it, why you're passionate about it. So if telling that story means you have to kind of break the formula, do that. That's important. You need to use your voice, right? We want to make sure that you're using your voice and telling your story. And so that, excuse me, hold on one second. That's where I want to stress AI is useful. It is a useful tool, but please, please, please do not overuse AI on your cover letter. AI is a robot. It sounds like a robot. And so if you tell it, I'm applying for this job, here's my resume, write me a cover letter, it's going to take all the personality out of it. It's going to take all of you out of the cover letter, and it's going to sound like a robot. And we don't want that, right? They have looked at your resume and said, hey, this person has the qualities that we need. They have the experience that we need. They want to read your cover letter to see who you are. They want to know, who is this employee that I might be working with? Are they going to be a good fit for the team? Are they, are they somebody I want to work with? So if you use AI too heavily on your cover letter, it's going to take out all emotion, all feeling, all personality, all everything that's colorful that makes you you. And you don't want that. I will say, I got to read some cover letters recently, and I could tell who used AI and who didn't. And it was really refreshing to read the ones that were actually written by a real person. And I could tell who had written it themselves and who had used AI to write it. And the ones that were AI were very blank. They're very robotic, very neutral, yes, they made the points, but it didn't show the person. And so, like I said, AI is a very, very, very useful tool. Use it. It's great. But just know, especially in a cover letter, you want to make sure that you're being very careful about overutilizing it, because it will just wipe out all of your personality and all of what makes you you. And I think that's what the cover letter is for, right? It's you got in the door. So you want to give them this piece of paper that shows them why you belong at the company. And a robot can't do that, because a robot's not a person. It's not you. So we want to highlight that. So one thing that is really important is that we want you to put your experience in the cover letter, right? We want you to put all that stuff in there to show, hey, I have done this and this and this, and this is why it makes me a really good fit for this. That's how it translates to this. But do not just regurgitate your resume. You've already given them your resume. They have all of that data. They don't want to see the same thing. They didn't ask for 2 copies of your resume, right? In different formats. They asked for a resume and a cover letter. So make sure you're not just regurgitating the exact same information that's on your resume. You also don't have to have all of the quantifiable data that you put in your resume also then into your cover letter, right? They're going to see mentions of certain things that you have put in your resume. I worked with X number of people and this sort of things. So I have 7 years of experience with XYZ in experience and expertise in ABC platforms. But we want to see mentions of it, but we don't want it verbatim in both places, right? We don't want it verbatim from your resume, copy and pasted, same sentences, same data from your resume into your cover letter. So make sure you're putting, obviously repeat some of that information. You want to repeat some of your experience and explain why this data that you have on your resume makes you a good fit, but you don't want to put the exact same stuff, and you don't need to say it verbatim, because then again, they didn't ask for 2 copies of your resume. They asked for a resume and a cover letter. So make sure you're doing both things. So I'm going to do a quick little refresh here and see, does anybody have questions about cover letters, like specific questions about cover letters that you want to know, or things where you're stuck on your cover letters? That's what I'm here to ask questions or answer questions about. I'm not here to ask you questions. But I think key takeaways for cover letters, like somebody once told me the phrase, I think it's Jenna from VirtForce that I work with, but she had said, your resume gets you in the door, right? It's the thing that gets you into the door, but your cover letter is the one that tells them why you belong there. Right. So it's you in a nutshell, right? It's you as a working person in a nutshell. And it is in your voice, in who you are, that makes you a good fit for those roles. So make sure, like I said, I'm not going to stress this enough. Please be careful using AI. Use it if you need to get a little bit of like a flow going. That's totally fine as an idea kind of generator thing. But you want to make sure that you're not overutilizing it so that it doesn't take out your voice and take out all of that personality, because, they don't need a robot. If they needed a robot, they just build an AI, but they need a person, right? They want you. So you need to show them why you are a good fit for that company and that role. Let's see what we got. Anybody have questions? I don't see anything on Facebook. Let me pull it up on the other side. I feel like Facebook is lagging for me at the moment. So, all right. So quick little reiteration here on some of that. Cover letters are important. I think we all know that. That's why they ask for them. But it's your chance to show them why you belong at that company, why you're excited for this specific company, this specific role. So make sure you're talking about and you have researched the company and the role, right? Plus it'll help you when you get an interview. So make sure, you're putting that information. What does the company find important? What are they looking for in an employee? And how do you match what they're looking for? In your voice, keep it short and sweet. Don't overuse AI. I think that's really important there. But it's a good chance, a cover letter is a good chance to explain things, right? You can explain like career gaps or pivots or things like that. It also is your chance to explain why you are the person that they are looking for. That's really what your cover letter should come down to in a nutshell. So those are my big points. It looks like we don't have any questions coming in at the moment. So if you do have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I will be back and I can answer them later. And quick wrap up. Let me put on the job board. Don't forget to check out our job arsenal, jobs.virtforce.us. Let's see, this one right here. Jobs.virtforce.us. Our roles rotate frequently, so please be checking them. Like I said, we had 2 roles go up last week that we had accepted all the applications we could and took them down and are already doing interviews. So keep an eye out for emails, check up on our Facebook page and sign up for the job board. Make sure you are signing in to see all of the job board jobs. They are, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to mention all the jobs in our job board are vetted, legitimate roles, no scams, no MLMs, no commission only roles. We have certain standards that all of our jobs have to meet, and they are all location flexible, ideally remote. But we do get other hybrid roles and location specific roles, but most of them are remote. Just make sure you're checking when you sign into the job board. To the right of all the jobs, you'll see little bubbles with red text that tell you what are the highlights of the role, the key points about the role. So yeah, make sure you're checking out jobs.virtforce.us. You can scan the QR code. Sorry, my plant thing back there. I don't even know how that's in there. Scan that. You can go to jobs.virtforce.us. And on Tuesday of next week, we will be at VA Loan Bootcamp. I will be there. Our experts will be there. It will be super fun. And we are going to talk about VA loans, things we wish we knew on Thursday to get us a head start. And then on Tuesday of next week, 1 week from today at 11 Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be live on Zoom to give away Starbucks gift cards and Stanley tumblers. And we will be talking about you and what your VA loan questions are and where you're at in your journeys and what you need to know and what you need help with, and answering those questions based on your timelines, your goals, your situations, who you are, what you need help with. So that is what VA Loan Bootcamp is. I just see we have a question about cover letters. Hi, Shelby. I don't know why LinkedIn is not. Apparently, LinkedIn has decided to stop sending me chats. I got a couple of them and now I'm not getting any. So I see your question, Shelby. Shelby would like to know, I'd love to create a cover letter for each position, but sometimes they don't ask for one or there's not an option for the submission process. Any recommendations? So if they don't have a place for you to submit a cover letter, some people don't want them. Some people don't use them. And so if it's not an option, then it's not an option. And then that's where doubling down on making sure that you tailor and target your resume is going to be really, really important. Make sure that you have doubled down on that to get you in. And then I'm guessing that those kind of companies are looking, primarily they're looking at, excuse me, at your resume, and then they're going to focus on interviews, right? So they're going to get you into an interview to ask you some questions there. And if they don't ask for one, but there is an option to submit one, highly recommend doing that. If they give you the option to do it, do it. It'll show that you went a little bit the extra mile and put in a little extra effort and do a good job, right? Don't just use like a copy and paste from another position with a change title, like really put the effort in. If you have the option to do it, I highly recommend it. Especially, you know, if it's a job you're really interested in, which really shouldn't be applying to jobs that you're not interested in for the most part. So spend the time, do it. But again, not every company, not every position is going to ask for a cover letter. A lot of times they're looking for very specific experience requirements, and they know that if you have those experience requirements and qualifications, then that'll make you a good fit for the role. And then they will interview to find the person that they care about or that they care about putting on their team. I mean, you know, so it's not something they're going to ask everybody for. Not every job is going to have that option. So sometimes they just want a resume, and that's just how it is. And if all they want is a resume, then like I said, double down on making sure that everything is tailored and targeted specifically, like fine-tuned into that company and that specific position. And then if it's an option, definitely do it. And then just know that they're going to be looking at resumes, experience requirements, qualifications, things like that, and then probably interviews if they don't require or even have the option for a cover letter. Did that answer your question? I've got LinkedIn up on a different browser so I can keep an eye on it in case you have any questions there, Shelby, for that. So, yeah, like I said, not everybody's going to ask for one. And so if they ask for one, that's great. But if they don't, unfortunately, if they don't want it, they don't want it. And there's, you know, they're not going to accept it. So it is what it is. And that's where, like I said, just making sure that your resume is really honed in on the company and the role that you're applying for so that you can get into the interview stage, because like a cover letter, like I said, is your chance to show you and how your work and your experience translates to the role that they're hiring for. And that's like also what an interview is for, right? It's kind of like a pre-interview kind of thing. So if they don't offer a submission for a cover letter, that's a bummer, but that just means that you spend your time focusing on dialing in that resume and getting ready for an interview for them. And if they give you the option, if it's choice to submit a cover letter or not, submit a cover letter. Submit a cover letter. Because if you don't, there's always going to be one person who does submit it and takes the time to actually really do a good job with it and tailor their stuff to the position in the company, and it's going to set them above. So if you have the option, write a cover letter, because that's going to make a big difference. So I think that is it for today. If anybody has any fault, I am. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, I see it, Shelby. You're welcome. And I think that is everything. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We keep up with those, and I'll try and go back. And next week is VA Loan Bootcamp. So I'll see you there on Tuesday, and I will see you this Thursday, same locations, and we'll be live streaming for What I Wish I Knew Sooner. And then I will see you guys on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time for VA Loan Bootcamp. All right, guys, I will see you.